Hey, how you doing? I'm Joel McDonald. I am Aoyama in My Hero Academia, Takumi in Initial D, Kuma in One Piece, Minato in Sekirei, and a bunch of other stuff that I have forgotten.
So, as far as you having 15 years of experience in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw what 11 at
11 at
Funimation.
Funimation and almost 7 in video games at Gearbox. Yeah,
Okay, because
yeah,
we're going to get the Gearbox.
yeah, sure.
I am definitely curious about that. But as far as from when you started to the way it is now, what are the noticeable differences that you've seen in the industry?
Dude, that's already a great question. Okay, that's fantastic. I think one of the things that's changed, especially over the last few years, is the prevalence of remote work.
Mm,
Partly spurred on by the pandemic, but
right.
also, I mean, like it's just like technology is allowing us to reach actors anywhere. And so I think that's done a lot for casting directors such as myself to be able to cast appropriately as far as ethnicity, sexuality, gender identity, all these kind of things. And so, like, if you do your research, if you do your scouting, and you find the right actor for every role, somebody who can bring genuine experience to that part,
Mm.
like the whole project, the whole artistic tide just keeps rising. And so it's allowing us to have a bigger and deeper casting pool, and that always is best for the art.
Because I would talk to some of the voice actors and how they would just like roll out of bed
Yeah.
and go ahead and do my
Go
recording
to
and
my
they,
closet. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Because like we thinking about it, it's you would think normally working at home as
Hmm.
far as like not a telemarketer but on the phone, which is kind of similar
Yeah.
to what voice actors are doing. Um, but what would you say that you were more closer to as far as a director or voice actor in the business?
Well, acting was always my first love, and I
Mm,
started doing acting like on stage when I was 7 years old, and I did that consistently up until my mid 20s. When through the theater world, I met Colleen Clinkenbeard, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, a bunch of other like stage actors that were also doing voiceover, and through my relationships with them, I got an audition and started doing voiceover. But like at the time, I thought it was just like something I could do to pay a gas bill every once in a
mm,
while, and like I never really looked at it as a career because I wanted to be a stage actor. But the older I got, the more I realized like you can't really be a full-time professional stage actor, at least not in Texas. Like you're not going to make a living that way. And But the more I got involved in voiceover, the more I realized that like it's a way to do the same kind of art, but like you're not just performing for a group of 100 something people at a theater. Like this stuff is enduring. Like it goes all over the world. Like you get to perform not in front of but for like thousands, tens of thousands of people.
mm.
Like if your show's on Toonami or something like that, like you got a huge reach, and then the convention circuit's amazing because you get to meet people from all over the place, and I've always been like an actor first, but like a storyteller is like what I've always wanted to be, and like that's part of how I work as a director too. But like directing is always it's for me it's a chance to get to work with actors to help them tell a story better. And so I would say I'm an actor first, but I don't really act anymore. Like other than some legacy characters in My Hero and a couple other things, like I focused on full time directing, and then I also do coaching as well. But like all of it is kind of in service to the artistic industry, just helping people tell a story better. And that's who I am. That's what I do.
Sweet. So as far as a director, is that between directing and ADR? Are you're pretty much, well, I guess along with the coaching to
Mm.
get the best performance of the voice actor. Um, how is that process really drawn out?
Well, so the way that I operate, and every director is a little bit different, but the drawing out a better performance means giving the actor more useful information.
Mm,
And so one of the first things that I do is explain context, relationship, and setting to every actor for every scene. And so I let them know, obviously in their first session, they figure out who they are. And then if we've got other sessions, or even in that first session, I let them know the context of the scene and say, okay, here's who you're talking to, here's what's going on here, here's where you just came from, and here's why this is important to you. And then setting, like you're inside, you're outside, you're talking to this number of people, it's this time of day. All of that stuff helps to give the actor a better understanding of their role and what the intent is, and all of that information helps them to build a clearer picture. And so an actor that's trying to operate without that information isn't going to be able to do their best job. And so I'm there to provide them the tools that they need to be the best they can be.
Sweet, sweet. It's, from little experience with voice acting, I've felt approaching certain roles, and it's like, I don't know if he or she would sound this way,
Mhm.
and you're like shots in the dark, but
Mhm.
hopefully something works.
Yeah.
But with your process, it's shorter in time, and straight to the point.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, good sir. As far as you with Gearbox Software, so you're the first VOverlord.
VOverlord. Yeah, they let me pick my own title.
Okay.
And I just went weird with it. Yeah.
I'm curious. So what is that title, and what does it entail?
So when I first started at Gearbox, they did not have in-house VO direction, and I was actually an actor in Borderlands 2. Excuse me. And so I played Captain Flint and then Tector Hodunk, who appeared in Tales from the Borderlands as well. But at the time, they were outsourcing all of their VO direction to other studios, and so they would have an on-site director sometimes, but for the most part, it was the engineer and then either a writer or a producer or anyone else who knew the story well enough to kind of be able to communicate that to the actor. And when they were interviewing people when they were about to start recording Borderlands 3, I was lucky enough to secure an interview with them. And at the time, they were looking for a contract director. They're like, we want someone who can come on for a few months at a time, looping as needed, and then finish this game out, and then that's it. It's just a contract and in and out. But over the course of my interviews with them, I was able to kind of convince them of the inherent value of having a full-time director that works closely with the narrative team and the writers and other producers and animators and all this kind of stuff to kind of help to craft and understand and sometimes shape the story from the ground up, and then to be able to be kind of boots on the ground for that. So not only have I been able to work on Borderlands 3, the 4 DLCs with that, and New Tales from the Borderlands, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but we also Gearbox will publish and produce titles with other companies, and so anything that comes through those companies, anything that has a kind of VO connectivity, I work on auditions, casting, scheduling, and contracts and things, and then when the actors are cast, I get to work with them one-on-one, and I think there's a lot of value in someone who didn't just learn the story that week,
right,
but
right.
kind of knows it really deeply and is able to kind of cast appropriately, and then work with those actors to make sure that they got the right tools.
Sweet. So with Borderlands, I know it's a popular game. What is, and it's the first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. What is the appeal of this franchise?
Man, there's a lot, honestly, and I'm biased, but like, not only do I love the game, but I love the company that makes it. The player gets to be a central figure, which I mean isn't unique, but the worlds that we create are really vibrant. Like, the characters are memorable, they're bright, they're colorful. There's a lot of humor, and I think that humor for me is a great way to draw people in. And if you can make somebody laugh with you, then you can make them cry with you. And so, like, the way that Gearbox utilizes humor, especially in the Borderlands franchise, it's a way to draw people in, to make them fall in love with these characters, and then to sometimes catch them off guard and make them go somewhere that they wouldn't normally want to go. And like, I think it's really effective as far as getting people emotionally invested, tied to these characters, and then sometimes taking advantage of that, and killing people off or whatever, like,
right.
But I think that Gearbox is, I'm not going to say we're the best in the business at this, but like, I think we're one of the top as far as like writing relatable, fun, vibrant characters that let people to connect with the story in a way that some other studios don't take advantage of.
That's
or at least in a different way.
Awesome. As you're talking, I'm getting a fanboy moment. Like, I'm seeing Rick And then I'm thinking about, the because I was doing some research on Borderlands, so like some of the unexpected deaths, and it's just like, don't get attached to any of the characters. So
Sure.
and like, well, definitely with the humor,
Yeah.
dropping your guard,
Yeah.
and just really immersing yourself in the game. I like that.
Okay, first off, thank you guys for watching and playing and participating in the art that I've been blessed to get to make over the past nearly 17 years. I wouldn't be able to do this if there wasn't anybody participating with me. So yeah, dude, every fan is my favorite person. As far as kind of what I've got coming up, there's always something I'm under NDA for, so not everything I can talk about. But I will say one thing I'm really excited about is that, I used to do a lot of coaching and helping people get involved in the industry, because helping actors become actors is one of my favorite things I do. To that end, I wrote a book that's coming out later this year. It's called Getting In, and it's about how to go from being a wannabe actor with no experience to becoming a working professional actor. And I put my whole heart and soul into it. There's not a single thing I know that I didn't put in this book. So I'm going to be posting about it on Instagram and Twitter coming up. We'll have pre-sales available soon. I think we're shooting for like $10 for the book. And my fervent hope is that anybody that wants to get involved that doesn't know how, we want to make that accessible for people. So keep an eye out.